Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Today I want to go over a very unique knife from Kizer that I think is very purpose designed and very cool. It is the Kizer Hidden Agenda, and it comes with this multi-mountable tech lock style lock. This is a small half size. You can mount it sideways to carry it scout carry. You can mount it vertical. You can have it where it'll mount on your pack, however you want it. As you guys know, I always switch these out for an ulti clip or a deep concealment clip because I like to carry these in my pocket. But this is a Justin Lundquist design. You may think it looks familiar because he did a collaboration with several years ago for a little small neck knife that was similar to this minimalistic design. It's kind of a knife that's set up for minimal design but maximum impact, if that makes any sense. So what we have here in the agenda, and you got to be careful with it because it is a fully symmetrical blade. It's got high symmetry for ultimate penetration, dual edges, very tall grind with the blood groove here down the center. You've got this two-piece G10 handle that's very unique. I won't take the time to take it apart. Maybe I will, just so I can show you the full tang construction that's actually got a lot of weight relief. Let me make sure that's my bit. So this is a two-piece G10 system. Using my Get Good screwdriver. And just doing this to show you what I think is one of the minimal but maximum impact kind of cool features to this knife. Now, I don't know if they're going to sell additional scale sets. I wouldn't anticipate that anyone buying this knife really cares about that look. They do have a model of this that is in, I want to say 10V, that has an ulti clip already installed. But this is going to show you a great deal of weight relief and balance that's built into this knife. The balance point on this is right here, right where my grooves are. So you've got a lot of weight relief cut in the center of this AEB-L blade. That's what the blade steel is, AEB-L, because let's face it guys, the main purpose of a knife like this is not to cut boxes, but to, what would we say, kind of just give you some good urban survival and personal protection in a light modern EDC. So you'll notice when I put this scale back down, this lower area rises up, which just really locks it into place. 4 screws hold it down, and it's just a well-engineered, fantastically designed by Justin, and I have thoroughly enjoyed carrying it. And I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why, because it operates for me as a great EDC knife, even though this is the first double-edged or symmetrical sharpened knife that I've ever owned. I have, handled them. I've, messed with them, daggers from here to there. Not a lot. I'll be honest with you, just not a lot. But this one is, to me, exceptional because, again, it's very light. Its balance point is right there. It's got dual jimping, right? So let's just call it bilateral jimping for lack of a better term. So you've got jimping here on the front of the handle if I was going to hold it like this, where I've got this where the lanyard hole would go in the butt of my hand. So keeping in mind this is designed for thrusting. This is a natural way for me to hold this knife if I was going to deploy it and thrust with it. It also has bilateral jimping here on the side on the tang. So if I was going to hold it on the side, more for if I'm cutting EDC tasks, I would not want to thrust with this grip personally because there's not more of a guard. I don't feel bad thrusting here. You've still got the handle to keep in your palm, but it is what they call bilateral jimping, which is kind of unique, and I think it's one of Justin's kind of neat design elements that he's engineered into the knife. And then the AEB-L blade steel, I think they say the HRC is between 58 and 60. It's basically crafted for balance and control. I think it's engineered for urban survival, whether you're having to cut stuff open, which is your knife, this is your boot knife, this is your neck knife, this is the knife that is all you're carrying and everything else is kind of gone down the toilet, right? This is your survival knife. And a personal protection knife, modern, light, EDC, engineered for penetration, and we can look at that here in this blade. This blade, again, is what I would call a very high symmetry, tall in the center, where you have this blade groove is what they call this center groove. You got the dual edge, and you've got, I think, about 3.5 inches. We'll measure that here in a second, and we'll do a little bit of piercing with it. But you've got sharpening choils that look like they're done very well. You've got this lanyard hole that is done exceptionally well. This knife is going to come in well under 70 bones. You can get this knife for a little bit more in 10V. I think it's 10V. And you can get it for a little bit less. I think in, I'll put links, Amazon links to all of these where you can kind of look at what's available. But let me show you how it cuts, because it's amazingly sharp. And I know I wouldn't want to use it to break down cardboard. However, it has got everything it needs to slice. It's a taller grind, guys. When we talk about blade geometry and how blade geometry contributes to the sliciness of a knife, the fact that this knife cuts as well as it does, I think is plenty fine, knowing I've got this high symmetry and this less than optimal blade geometry. What I've got is a knife that will thrust no matter how fast or how I need to thrust, right? Slurpee Saver Extreme. Somebody comes to sneak in with Justin's knife here, they're going to probably leave leaking, because again, it is, I would call it a cantaloupe, watermelon, piercing, stabbing, poking type of thing. But it's also a good everyday cutter. So if I had to cut, let's say I had zip ties, let's say I had to cut some paracord, something that was, I was out on a campsite, I was out on a hike, I needed to make a simple cut on something like this, it cuts fine for an EDC knife. Would I want to use it to break down cardboard? No. This is part of an Amazon box with a label sticker on it. It will cut cardboard. I lifted it up out of that cut. It's not a pleasant thing to do, but it will cut it. But what it'll do like nobody's business is pierce cardboard. And it is a wicked dagger. I mean, that's all I can really say. If you want to reduce this review to the ridiculous, this is a wicked dagger at a very good price point that I never thought I would be in the market for. Maybe it's a knife that you carry in your car. Maybe it's a knife that you carry in your bag. Maybe it's a knife that you EDC in your back pocket, because you can use it for everything, right? I've been carrying it. I have not felt limited in my back pocket when I'm carrying this, because it locks in great. It's super light. To use this as an EDC knife. It's not my favorite style, and it doesn't have the cutting geometry or slicing geometry that I've come to love. But for what it's designed for, what it's engineered for, I think Justin and Kizer hit it out of the park. Real quickly, before we do that, let me give you a size comparison. It's going to be a little bit smaller than that Benchmade bug out. It's going to be about 2 inches longer than that Sharpie. So we can call it, for lack of better terms, bug out size. If you want to see it next to a Spyderco PM2, it's going to even be smaller. But it's a great size. I'd say on the high size of being a neck knife, but a great EDC knife, which means I think it's going to come in probably about 7.5. I know it's got a 3.5 inch blade, so it's 7.25 overall. 3.5 inch blade, 3 3/4 inch handle. Your cutting edge, not that that really matters, is 3 1/4 on each side. So I guess you'd call that, what, 7.5? Do you double that up? No, not really. But anyway, it's sharp on both sides. You've got the blade steel right here, AEB-L. You've got Justin Lundquist and his maker's mark on that side. I think it's just a winner of a collaboration. I think one of the things we're going to see with the 3.5 inch blade, even though fixed blades are different, that this is going to be considered almost a featherweight EDC. 2.8 ounces is very light for a knife that you're going to use for personal defense. Put it in its carry sheath. It's only 4.1 ounces. So very light, very easy to EDC, very easy to carry in your purse. Very good survival knife, very good self-defense knife. Not the kind of knife that I normally look for EDC cutting the way I do, which is, you know, cutting regular stuff. But if I'm just opening up Amazon packages like I do, if I'm opening cat food, as I've been using this over the week, it works as good as any that I use. No, it's not as slicey because it's got a taller grind, but it makes up for that in thrusting and piercing. Guys, I'm a big fan. I think this is about, like I said, 66 bones. I'll leave a couple of links to it. Kizer Hidden Agenda. Very cool knife, new release. Go check them out. I appreciate you watching. I want to say thank you for all the channel members. I want to say thank you for all of you that take the time to come in here and watch my knife and EDC content. I would ask you, if you're so kind, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. Hit the like button, and please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for one another. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.